guys, welcome to the best day game course of all time. This is Hector Castillo-Papi, and I'll be leading you through this course to teach you how to meet women during the day. So first, I want to go over why day game is amazing, then some myths that surround day game, and then finally a way that you can navigate this course to learn the most that you can from it and achieve the goal that we're setting you up to achieve. And the goal that I want to help you achieve over this course is that I want to teach you how to see a girl during the day, walk up to her, talk to her, have a cool conversation, get her number, and then later on you guys can set up a date because of those 5 minutes that you talk to her. So this entire day game product, excluding the final module, which I'll go over some more advanced stuff, like meeting a girl during the day and sleeping with her that same day, or kissing her, let's say if you meet her in a park, for instance, and how to get to that point. But really the focus of this is I want you to be able to walk anywhere, anytime, the park, the metro, just on the street, coffee shop, like one like this, and meet a girl and talk to her and get her phone number or her contact information and have her be so excited to meet you that she is going to respond to your texts and she's going to show up on the date that you guys set up and then possibly have an amazing romance together, whatever it is that you want. But I want to give you the freedom to meet any girl, anytime, anywhere, and go on a date with her at some point and turn her into your lover, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever it is that you're looking for in this life. So why is day game amazing? Let's go over that first. So day game, as defined earlier, is meeting a girl during the day. Most people meet girls through what we call social circle, which is your group of friends because of your work, so work colleagues, a friend of a friend, so your extended social circle, you get introduced to someone, and that's the way that most people end up with their spouses or their girlfriends. They meet people through someone else, or they meet people through a club that they're in, or their work. That's because most people don't have the social skills to do what I'm going to teach you how to do, but it's actually a lot easier than you would think. And that's why this is such a simple course. I'm going to give you a lot of very, very simple information that is sometimes going to seem too simple, but it's because I've broken it down to such a simple process over, I don't even know, 6,000, 7,000 approaches in my life. I've probably done like 15,000 overall, but just pure day game, over 5,000. And so I've had a lot of time to make a lot of mistakes and teach you from those mistakes so that you don't make the same ones I do and just have a super simple process of approach, talk, and ask her out, and then you get her number, and you won't be contained to the social restrictions that most people find themselves in, mostly because they're fucking pussies. Most people are afraid to walk up to a random girl during the day and say hello, when in fact it's not that big of a deal. It's not scary, it's not creepy, it's actually quite simple, and most of the time you're going to have great receptions. But we'll go over that later. But most people are going to be meeting people through social circle, or they're going to meet people in the clubs or in the bars. This is day game. This is pure game where you're just meeting someone you've never met before, but there's no music, there's no drunk assholes who are gonna get aggressive because you're talking to a girl he likes. You're not gonna have to deal with the pretension of people in the clubs when they're all, oh, I'm so fancy and I'm so cool and, you know, I'm so hot and every guy here is gonna flirt with me. When she's walking on the street during the day, yeah, guys are checking her out, but the amount of guys who are willing to go up and approach girls is very, very rare. I commonly ask girls, how many guys approach you during the day, like straight up? Very, very rare. The most beautiful ones, they'll say, yeah, on occasion, you know, guys will walk up to me and tell me I'm beautiful, but for the most part, it happens very, very seldomly. And so when you do approach a girl during the day, even if you don't get her number, it's gonna be a great experience. I've had tons of girls tell me like, wow, this is amazing, you know, I have a boyfriend, so I'm sorry I can't go out with you, but I think you're really cute and this is super nice and you made my week. So seeing that smile on her face and having the positive reception that you're inevitably going to get if you follow my process is going to make you so much more comfortable with the fact that you're going to be talking to a girl during the day. But I get ahead of myself. Okay, so day game is amazing. Why? For the reasons aforementioned, but also you can meet the highest quality girls. The girl who you would meet at the club or at the bar who is surrounded by her friends, everyone's kind of on edge because clubs and bars tend to be really chaotic environments. People are drunk, people are high, people are just not in a good mood. They're trying to escape from their shitty work week. It's just a fucking bonanza of clusterfuck. That's basically what it is, and I try to avoid it as much as possible these days, and I prefer to talk to girls during the day. So you're gonna be avoiding all of that, but also because you're avoiding that, that girl also is not going to be in that environment. She's going to be in a completely different environment where she's just, oh, I'm going to work, I'm going grocery shopping, or I'm going shopping for clothes, and then there you are, You're going to go talk to her, you're going to introduce yourself, and she's going to be like, who the fuck is this guy? He's amazing, he came from nowhere. But guess what? She doesn't have her friends around who are going to judge her for talking to some guy that she just met, for possibly sleeping with a guy that she just met a few days later after she meets you and you go on a coffee date and you have an amazing time together. All of this is super, super possible and made even easier because you don't have to deal with the drunk people, her being drunk, the status game that people play in the clubs of acting too cool for school. The girl who would not give you 1 minute of attention, even 30 seconds of attention in the club, will more than happily talk to you for 5 minutes on the street because now it's just you and her. And so the girl that you could not get, the super hot girl that all the guys are staring at in the club, she's surrounded by, the big tough guys, the fancy bottles, the security, none of them are here. She's just there with you. And it's just a test of, do you guys have compatibility? Do you have similarity? Are you attracted to each other? And so you could be, let's use arbitrary numbers. You could be an 8. You go to a club, there's the 10. The perfect girl, the big ass, the beautiful makeup, the fancy hair, all of her friends, cool friends. She's not gonna talk to you. But on the street, oh, hello, nice to meet you. By approaching her, you're already in the top 1% of men. And so you set yourself apart from all those other guys who need alcohol and cool social circles in order to meet someone. And so you can end up getting her phone number and going on a date with her Friday night. And then she goes out that weekend and you had already slept with her the night before and all the other guys are trying to hit on her at the club. But guess what? You already got in there because you had the balls to approach her during the day. So you're gonna get the highest quality women. Also, not only in terms of beauty, you're gonna get the highest quality women in terms of their profession. The girls who aren't going out and partying every night. You're not gonna find these girls if you're only doing social circle, because in order to meet her through social circle, you have to be really popular, really rich. You have to be in the clubs that she's in, like the social circles she's in. But getting into those clubs requires either really strong social skills, you need a lot of money, you need fame, you need some way to get into those circles of people, but you don't need that here. You just have to see her and talk to her. 2 consensual adults acting of their own free will on the street and having a strong connection, both personality-wise and physically, and it's not restricted to just your social circle and just the bars and the clubs that you find yourself going to. So you're gonna find the girls who are not only beautiful, but accomplished in their careers, and that's why they can't go out and party, because they have to travel for business, or they just want to sit inside and have a chill night. These are the girls who are going to make the best girlfriends, the girls who are not going out every Friday night and getting fucked up and end up, sucking some random guy's dick in a fucking bathroom, right? You're going to be avoiding so many shitty people in so many shitty situations because you're meeting girls during the day. So the highest quality of beauty, the highest quality of personality, the highest quality of their profession, and without all of the bullshit that I mentioned earlier. So day game is fucking king. It is the best way to meet girls, and I will stand by that till the day I die. Okay, so what are some myths that are surrounding day game that I can help dispel for you so you no longer have the fear to go out and talk to girls because you think it's weird or it's creepy? The first myth that I want to dispel about meeting girls during the day and doing day game is that girls don't want to meet guys during the day. That's just bullshit. And I don't know who says this, but it's something I hear often when I talk about it. Guys will say, oh, that's kind of weird or that's kind of creepy. But I'm like, okay, is there a book somewhere where I can read these rules that we have to follow? No, right? I can go talk to anyone who I want. As long as I'm not hurting anyone, I can just have a conversation. So why do we have this idea that girls don't want to meet guys during the day? Well, firstly, it's just not totally normal. And that's okay. When things aren't normal, we have a fear of them, as we should, because we do have to follow certain rules in society in order for us to act as a cohesive whole. But some of those rules, or these fears, for the most part is a better way to think of them, are irrational. They don't make a lot of sense. But they do have their root possibly in our primal urges, like our primal instincts, where if I talk to a girl at night or during the day, it doesn't matter when, some guy's gonna come up and kill me. That's a fair fear a couple hundred years ago or 100 years ago, before modern dating really started, which is actually something really new, interesting to think about. But it's also just a silly idea that keeps us from living the life that we really could live if we just weren't bound by these small little guidelines that we stupidly follow. If I see a girl on the street and I go up and talk to her, unless her boyfriend's right there or she has some crazy ass boyfriend who's constantly calling her and making sure that she's not talking to another guy, someone's not gonna run up and hit you, okay? You're not gonna get arrested unless, you know, you're harassing a woman or touching her inappropriately, or cursing her out or doing anything crazy like that. You're probably not gonna have the cops called on you. I've heard crazy stories on the internet, like, oh, I approached a girl and I got, you know, called by the cops, but I've personally never had it happen to me. I've never heard of anyone I teach or know having had it happen to them. So 99.9% of the time, you're not gonna encounter that. So you're not gonna get randomly hit, for the most part, by some jealous boyfriend or husband. Maybe after you meet her and fuck her, then you might have some issues if she has a boyfriend or husband, but that's on you, okay? But talking to her, pretty much you're okay. You're not gonna get arrested. She's not gonna slap you unless you walk up and slap her ass or, you know, try and kiss her or do anything, again, really fucking weird. She's not going to be particularly angry or spiteful. The worst responses I see from girls are pretty much just ignoring me or just giving me like a weird look, but the pain from that is gonna last a few seconds at most, and you're gonna, trust me, you're gonna build up a tough skin. You're gonna get rejected a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're definitely gonna get rejected. This is not a magic spell that I'm teaching you. This is a process that I'm teaching you, okay? So if you're a pussy, get your refund and quit this right now. But if you're a man and you wanna learn how to actually get girls and do it the right way, this is a very simple process. You're gonna get rejected, but I'm gonna give you the tools to make sure that you're not gonna get rejected too much, because you're gonna look for things like approach invitations, which we'll get into in a different module. You're gonna know how to approach them at the right angle, with the right body language, facial expressions, tone of voice. It's gonna be beautiful, it's gonna be artistic, and we're gonna get to that later. But dispelling this myth right now, there's no danger. You're okay. The most that's gonna happen to you is random people on the street are gonna kind of look and be like, is this guy talking to some random girl he doesn't know? But then you keep talking and they're gonna be like, oh, maybe they know each other. And then they're gonna go on with their life. Or this girl, you're gonna talk to her and, hey, I think you're really pretty. I want to come say hi. Oh, thanks, but I have a boyfriend. Oh, okay, have a good day. Are you dead? No? That's what I tell my clients. I'm like, all right, you wanna do your first approach? Go approach. They come back, I'm like, you seem okay. You don't have a black eye, you're not missing an arm, you're not dead, so I think you're okay. They're like, yeah, you're right, it wasn't that bad. And then they just fly. The biggest problem with approaching society, which I'll have a whole module totally dedicated to that, so don't worry, we'll take care of you there. But the biggest problem that most guys have is the beginning. And even with me, if I haven't gone out in like a week or two, I'm like, fuck, I wanna go meet a girl. Okay, well, you know, I might get rejected a few times, And then I'm go, oh, no, wait. I know, as soon as I do the first approach, if I just do that first approach, I'll fly. Because once you do the first one, it's gonna get addicting. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna talk to her and she's gonna love you. She's gonna be like, oh my God, thank you so much, you're so sweet. You're gonna get her number and you're gonna go on a date and you're like, holy shit, this is magic. I don't have to pay entry fee. I don't have to go get drunk. I don't have to deal with assholes. I don't have to deal with bitches. Well, occasionally you still have to deal with bitches. You're dealing with women, so you're gonna inevitably find a bitch. But not that many, right? So you're not going to be in danger at all. So there's really no reason you shouldn't be doing this, right? But a lot of you guys have these ideas about what's allowed in society and what's not. So as long as you're following a decent moral code, which I hope you have, and you're following the law, you're not gonna encounter any bullshit. You're gonna be fine. You can go talk to anyone you want, and you could end up having the most amazing relationship that you wouldn't have had you confined yourself only to people who I meet through friends or work, or by going to a club and getting fucked up and talking to random girls, which is fun, but this is better. So there's nothing wrong with approaching girls during the day. They're not fucking vampires. You know, it's not like, okay, it's 9 p.m. I have a pussy now. I want to go get some dick. It's like, no, girls want to meet. There's so many lonely women out there who are starved for romance, for sex, or even just companionship. And so they're out there and they're high quality. They're amazing. And you would think, oh no, she's got a boyfriend. She's got a husband. It's possible. You know, the most beautiful women are high in demand, and so they're constantly being hounded for sex and relationships. But you can find the right girl who's going to be right for you at this time because she's single and she fits everything that you want from a woman. So women do want to meet guys during the day. Women like guys, right? As long as they're straight, they like men, okay? They like dick, they like kissing guys, they like going on dates with guys, they like having relationships with guys, and if she doesn't have one right now, or even if she does, to be completely honest, she'll be open to you talking to her during the day, and like I said, nothing that bad is going to happen to you. Now, the second myth that I wanted to dispel about day game is that women won't go home with you or sleep with you during the day. Now, this is more specifically about if you were to meet a girl during the day and you were to make out with her in the park where you just met her, or you were to take her home and fuck her, which I've done. You meet a girl and 20 minutes later it's 5 p.m. in the afternoon and you're fucking balls deep in her pussy in your apartment, okay? So when you find yourself in a day game situation and you feel like, okay, you know, it's not seductive, you know, it's not nighttime, there's not some nice music in the background, we're not having wine. There is something sexual and seductive about a club or a lounge or having a romantic encounter at night. I understand that. But like I said, women are not vampires. It's not like all of a sudden they're not sexual beings and then they are sexual beings. You can sleep with a girl at any time during the day, right? Married couples have sex at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter. You can go home with anyone, anytime, anywhere. So do not be confined by this idea that there's somehow a time zone restriction on when you can date and when you cannot date. Now for the third myth that I want to dispel, it's that day game is weird or creepy. So we figured out that, you know, you can have good reactions, it's not illegal, it's totally okay to talk to a girl during the day. She will go home with you during the day or be open to a romance with you. She's still a sexual being, she's a human being. She'll talk to you, she'll be interested in you, she'll be attracted to you. But the last myth is that you have this preconception that, okay, I can go talk to a girl during the day, but what does that say about me as a man, right? If someone were to say, oh, you go talk to girls during the day, or you're such a loser, you can't meet girls through, you know, your friend groups or through work, you know, just go out, you know, be a normal person. I've heard this on occasion and I've kind of just laughed it off. It never really bothered me, but I'm sure there's some of you watching this right now and it does bother you. You know, you're susceptible, just as I am, to peer pressure and to the social codes that our society enforces. I understand. But again, it's very silly. There's no reason why you should consider this creepy or weird. There is plenty of cool guys that I know who do this. I think I'm pretty cool and I go and do this and I don't think I'm a loser. I have tons of friends, I have a job. You know, I can go to a club or a bar and meet a girl, but this is so much better. It's the opposite of creepy. In fact, I mean, if you want to think about it, really, a bar and a club is a bunch of people destroying their fucking sense of reality so that they have the courage to go talk to each other and have fun and be who they really want to be. If you want to think about it that way, that's kind of creepy. It's like, wow, you're such a loser that you don't have the social capability to have a normal conversation or a seductive conversation or romantic conversation with another human being without being drunk or high. I mean, if you really turn the logic around, you can kind of make night game and night game at bars and clubs creepy, or even social circle. It's like, wow, you're such a fucking pussy that you can't go talk to someone you don't know. What's the problem with that? Now, if you're in a society that's like super restricted and like it's super like almost illegal to talk to random people, and I know there's a few cultures who have that at this moment, okay, I understand. You probably should just move countries, right? Come to Romania, go to America, have fun. But it's not creepy and it's not weird. Okay, it's totally normal. There's tons of cool, high status, high value people who meet people during the day in a coffee shop, at the mall, on the street, in the metro. We're just being a little bit more proactive about it, right? So if you're walking around town, as you should, and you're like, okay, I need to do 10 approaches today because Hector told me to. You might feel a little weird. You might feel like, wow, I'm out hunting, you know, during the day and everyone's kind of just living their life. Trust me, most of the guys who are around you wish they could do what you do. I've had tons of times where I talk to girls during the day and I'll have a guy be like, hey man, did you just get that girl's number? I'm like, yeah. I'd be like, oh my God, that's so fucking cool. Even girls would be like, I remember once I talked to some girl outside of a Walmart back in America or something, and there was this couple who walked past me after I talked to her, and they're like, hey man, we saw that. And I was like, oh shit, are they gonna like say I'm creepy? And the guy was like, man, that was so cool. Like you were so confident that you just talked to that random girl. And the girl was like, yeah, that's so cool. Like I would love if a guy did that to me, you know? So it's a huge, huge compliment not only to her, so it's definitely not creepy, right? If you do it in a cool, casual way that I'm gonna teach you how to do, and if you're a cool guy, which I will help make you and turn you into a cool guy. If you talk to some random girl on the street, it's not creepy and it's not weird. In fact, it's the complete opposite. You're a man who's taking control of his life and is trying to better himself, which includes trying to have a more full romance life and a full sex life. And the only way you're gonna do that, because you're a man, you gotta go out and make shit happen, is by approaching girls. And because of this program and this course is based on meeting girls during the day, I can emphatically tell you there is nothing weird or creepy about talking to girls during the day. In fact, it's the most awesome thing fucking ever. And now for the final part of this module, I want to outline how this course is going to go. So in the next module, we'll be dealing with approach anxiety. And I'll go over some reasons why you might have approach anxiety, which for those of you who don't know, that is defined as the anxiety around going up and talking, approaching a new girl that you haven't met. She's a random girl. So it's a club, bar, day, whatever. You have approach anxiety. It's a very common problem, but I'll be dealing with it in the next module. And then after that, we're gonna go through literally everything that encompasses those 5 minutes where you meet her and talk to her and get her number and then wanna take her out on a date later. So we're gonna deal with approach anxiety before you even approach her. Get out of your head and just get into your balls and go out and fucking approach some women. I'm gonna teach you how to actually approach her, the angles in which you should approach her. I know that sounds kind of nerdy, but don't worry, it's gonna make a lot of sense later on. The facial expressions you should have, the body language you should have, what you should actually say, how to have that conversation after you start the conversation, because a lot of times guys can walk up and say hello, but then they don't know what the fuck to say next, right? It's a very common problem I hear. I don't know what to say next. I don't know what to talk about. Don't worry, we're gonna take care of that too. I'm gonna teach you how the importance of fundamentals is super, super, super critical to doing well during day game or in any social situation. And I'm gonna explain what fundamentals are for those of you who are unfamiliar with these terminologies that we're using. I'm going to teach you how to, after the conversation, actually ask her out. We're gonna have video demonstrations that'll show you in real time what it would look like if I did talk to a girl. We use a model, but it's pretty realistic. And how that would look when you want to emulate someone who's doing it well, because you have no fucking idea. Okay, I know I have to tell her she's beautiful, but do I just go, hey, you're really pretty? No, there's an art to it, right? And I'm gonna show you how to do that. I want you to really, really, really understand those critical 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, dude. This could take 2 minutes. You can walk up to her and talk to her and be out of there in 30 seconds. And then she'll go on a date with you, which is mind-blowing once you first see it happen. You talk to a girl you've never met, you're a complete stranger, you start talking to her, you get her number, you get her Instagram, whatever it is. 1 day later, you're on a date. You talk to her for 30 seconds. Promise, swear to God, it can happen, okay? And then after I teach you how to ask her out, I'm gonna do one final module where I teach you advanced day game, which is, if you just met a girl during the day, can you kiss her on the street? Can you kiss her in the park? Yes. Can you take her home after you met her? Yes, it's all very possible. And I'll go over some small little guidelines for you to do that, but this product is mostly focused on, again, those 5 minutes where you meet her, you talk to her, you get her phone number, you set up a date, and then you leave. And then after that, it's all you. Text her on the date, get her on the date, have a good time. Okay, so that's how this course is gonna go. We've also learned already in this first module why day game is amazing. You meet the highest quality girls. You don't have to worry about the bullshit in the clubs. You don't have to worry about the stupid status games. You can be very discreet with your love life. No one else has to know about it. It's just some random stranger that you met. Her friends don't know about you. Your friends don't know about her. It's just you and her, and it's the best thing ever, and you're gonna be dating the top quality girls, the best quality girls that you could never meet otherwise. We also learned in this module why day game is not weird and it's not creepy. It's totally normal, and in fact, it's the coolest thing you could ever do. And you also now have the outline for how this course is gonna go. You're gonna learn the basics of approaching, talking to her, asking her out, and then a few extra little advanced stuff for the guys who really wanna have a crazy time during the day. So in the next module, we're gonna be going over approach anxiety and why you shouldn't be a pussy and listen to those stupid thoughts that you have in your head that are telling you not to go approach a girl, and switch that with my voice in your head saying, don't be a pussy, go talk to girls. Okay, so check out the next module and let's get fucking to it.